Hey guys, my name's Kyle. I'm going to be working on a little project today. It's going to be an A-frame plant stand. I built one a couple of months ago for my house and had a couple of family members that really liked it and said that they would like to have one. So now that I kind of have a plan together, an idea of what it is that I want to do, I figured I would go ahead and make a video of it. I watch a lot of videos on YouTube on how to do things, and I feel like that I gain a lot of knowledge from that. And so I decided I would give it a shot to make a little video here and maybe try to give back a little bit and hopefully give you guys some ideas on something that you may want to do. I'm going to try to make more videos in the future here. I'm just sort of getting into this whole thing for the first time. I picked up a microphone on Amazon the other day, so the last video that I made, I had a few comments of people saying they couldn't hear me very well. So I definitely want to get that constructive criticism and figure out what I can do better. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you like the idea, and I hope it's something that you can use. So if you have any questions, please let me know. And while I am relatively new to YouTube, I'm looking definitely for some subscribers, comments, likes, all that good stuff. So if you would, please subscribe to the page. There's more videos to come. Okay guys, before we get started here, I want to go over exactly what we're going to be using today to finish this project. This is everything that you'll need if you're doing the same dimensions as I am. I picked up 3 2x4s. You can just be plain old 2x4s, framing 2x4s, a can of wood stain, whatever color stain that you want. Got a couple different sizes of screws here. We got everything from 1.25 inches all the way up to 2.5 inch. Got the drill for a pilot hole, as well as my impact. Obviously tape measure, eyes, ears, all that stuff. Square, pencil, pretty common stuff. This is a pack of 2 1.5 inch hinges, which I'll show you what those are for here in a bit. Common board here. This is a 1 inch by 10 inch wide by 6 foot long common board. Again, I'll show you how all this stuff goes together in a moment. And then I've just got my chop saw and my skill saw there. So these 2x4s, I like to rip my own because I feel like you get a little bit wider of a board, but you can just go buy a 2x2 at Home Depot. It's a little bit more expensive, I think, but it'll do the same job. Okay, so the next step in the process I did not film, but all I did was cut a foot off of these boards. They're 8 foot long boards. I cut them down to 7 feet. You can cut yours to whatever length you want to. If you want them to be taller or shorter, you can do that depending on how tall you want your stand to be. So I'm going with 7 feet tall on the 2x2s, and I'm fixing to hook the hinges up next so that I can show you. We're gonna go ahead and build the A-frame part of it now. So that'll be the next step here. Okay, so I'm using the hinges that I bought that I was showing you earlier. These will go on here. I'm going to go ahead and drill a pilot hole to begin with, just to make these a little easier to go in and make sure we don't split the wood. These hinges come with some tiny little screws. I don't trust those screws, so I'm using the 1 5/8 inch screws that I bought, the deck screws. Just to give you a closer up view of what I just did on the other one. All right, so here's kind of the next step in the process. Just lay the A-frame out to where it's flat like this with the hinge up here. And I'd say we probably want to use a 2 1/2 inch screw for this one, because it's going to need to go all the way through this and into that other board. So a 2 1/2 inch screw is going to be about what you need. Drill your screw through all the way till you can just barely feel it on the other side, so you know where to put your board at. Okay. Just line that up there to where that screw goes right down the center of it. And then we'll do the same to the other side. Okay, once you get done screwing all of the 2x2s on there, this is kind of what you should be left with. What you're essentially trying to make is just a ladder. So you've got the A-frame here. You've got all of your 2x2s that are 9 1/2 inches long. And you're just screwing them on there. And I only put one screw in the middle because I want them to be able to articulate whenever I go to put the boards on there. If I need to move them, I can move them to make them sit flat with the board. So just put that on there like that, and then we're going to take the other A-frame and lay on top of this to essentially make the ladder. Okay, so we'll take this other one, set it just like this. Make sure it's even. And then I'm gonna have to go down through here and drill holes in all these and then put screws in all of them. And then it just stands up. Okay, so now you can see it's finally starting to take shape. The bottom here, I've got spaced out at about 42 inches. Again, this is all super easy to customize. I mean, if you want yours to be spaced out further, which makes the top down lower, you can spread it out wider. If you want it to be taller and more narrow, you can put it in further. I've got mine at just about 42 inches. And so all I got to do now is just put the slats on it and it's done. Okay, so the next step in the process is these cross boards. They're both 6 feet long. So what I'm going to do is do the bottom shelf 4.5. It'll go here. The next shelf will be 3.5 feet long, 2.5 feet long, and then 1.5 feet long. And so I'll basically just have to make 2 cuts. So I'll make a cut here. That'll give me my 4.5 and my 1.5. And then I'll make a cut here, and that'll give me my 3.5 and my 2.5. So it'll be 4.5, 3.5, 2.5, 1.5. And that'll give me my 4 shelves that I'm looking for. Okay, so we got all the boards cut here. And at this point, it's just as simple as laying in the shelf where you want it here. There's the 4.5. This is the 3.5. This is the 2.5. This one's 1.5. And so, like I said, I spaced my bottom board out 42 inches. So we'll go ahead and bring that in a little bit. There's 42. And then I just want to make sure I've got the right amount on this side. So I got about 9.5 inches there. About 10 inches there, so I can go that way just a hair. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and put a screw in each side of this. Probably just going to go with 1 5/8" again on this one.
Okay.
Alright, and the bottom board is attached. We'll go ahead and just do the same for the other ones, and then it's time to stain it. Alright guys, so here's the kind of the final product. Got all of our shelves on here, everything's screwed down. So we got all that done. Sometimes, because these 2x4s are not real perfectly straight, it'll be a little bit wonky whenever you put it on the ground. Whenever I initially put mine down, it was kind of doing this whole thing. If you'll just kind of notate which one of the legs are longer, you can lay it down on its face and then just saw off a little piece of the leg, which is exactly what I did, and then just set it back down and put a level on it, and just make sure that it's completely level, which I've done. Whenever I'm here, I'm showing pretty much dead level there, and then just put it on the side over here, and we're showing pretty much dead level there. So all that's left to do is stain it. You know, stain it to whatever color stain that you prefer, and you're done.